have a speech outline, and a PowerPoint due within 48 hours. I'm fucked. But let's talk about something else. So this week, let's do an Is It Bad? I haven't done one in about a week and a half-ish, and I felt like there was a card because I was testing out cards. To play cards? Yeah. So I was sitting there and I was like, I'm tired. Twin Twister is, while it's a good card, and it's definitely, to me, a good replacement for MST, but some people prefer MST, some people don't like to pitch a card, but whatever, that's another topic that I already kind of discussed. Though, I wanted something that was more mass destruction. Heavy Storm, while it's been gone, I used to love that card. I felt like everybody having an available Destroy All Spell and Trap along with their Dark Hole, which we have Raigeki and 2 Dark Holes now, so it's kind of ridiculous. But I understand why they took that away. Pendulums, before Pendulums there's Artifacts, and, well, even though Artifacts could have maybe benefited from it, but also not benefited from it. But anyhow, the reason that they're not going to bring it back, even though I feel like Giant Trunade should be able to come back, but once again, another discussion. So, what does that lead me to? Well, you've probably already seen the title, Malevolent Catastrophe. It's a good card. Or is it? So right off the bat, comparing it to Heavy Storm is pretty much the same. It destroys all spell and trap cards, which is what Heavy Storm does. The only thing is, Heavy Storm's a spell, so you can just play it when your turn. You can just play it, summon, destroy your opponent. Or Malevolent Catastrophe, you have to wait for your opponent to attack. So it's slow. It's a lot slower. And in this game, if card is a little bit slower, it's either deemed unplayable, or people forget about it, or people just decide not to play it. When it comes to Malevolent Catastrophe's case, I feel like it's simply because people just refuse to play it because they feel like it's too slow. Call of the Haunted. You see it played more often, but Monster Reborn was banned for years before people really started to play Call of the Haunted, and all Call of the Haunted is, basically, was a Monster Reborn that was slower. And we had 3 of them where we only had 1 Monster Reborn, but people still refused to play it because it was slower. And now that that is slightly changing, and more people you see playing Call of the Haunted, it's still not something that is widely used. But when it comes to Malevolent Catastrophe, I feel like being attacked and using this effect is not that bad if you are playing it in conjunction with other traps in a trap-heavy deck. Somewhat. So what I mean by that is you're like, well, David, you want your spell and trap card to be destroyed. True. But it's like you put them face down, okay, and say you have a defensive trap or 2. And if you're attacked, you can use the defensive trap or 2. Or, if your opponent has a stacked field, okay, you minus your spell and traps as well. But there's options too where you can play this card face down along with another one, and you can use your defensive attack for like 1 monster to get rid of it, and then when he attacks again with another monster, you can Malevolent Catastrophe, and you'll still take that attack or whatever, but you destroy your opponent's field. It's not as bad as I'm making it sound.
Are you sure about that?
Basically, if you can defend yourself and also use the trap in conjunction, it's not that bad. And in this game, well, I feel like some people still say that trap cards are bad. I see so many decks that are just stacked full of traps. And then you have Pendulum decks that also stack full of traps. And while Pendulums don't really take that huge of a hit of being destroyed out of their zones, they can usually come back pretty quick. It is a pretty decent card to take out everything. And if you're not playing a very trap-heavy deck and you just want to, like, say you're playing a deck that doesn't utilize traps at all and then you just throw 3 of these in there, it can be a very, very useful card in conjunction with Twin Twister if you're fighting a very back-row-heavy deck. But with that being said, it might be more of a side deck card depending on the deck you are playing against. While some people would say that their side deck is already pretty packed, you couldn't fit these, I can see that, but at the same time, there might be some decks that could utilize Malevolent Catastrophe against other decks better, that they could main it. Just like some decks, how some decks are very good at maining Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure, but then other decks can't really main it as much and have limited it to a side thing. I feel like it's the same thing. So, in conclusion to the final, is this card bad? No. I feel like this card is good, I feel like it's forgotten and just deemed slow, when while it is slower, it's not terribly like, oh my god, this card, I could never use this in this situation. No, it's a good card, and you guys should try out playing it to maybe bring it back into the paces. Who knows, one day if the card gets big again, it might jump up to fucking some stupid amount of money for no apparent reason. So let me know down below, what do you guys think? Do you think this card is worth playing? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's too slow? Do you think the community has deemed it too slow? Give all your thoughts, and I will see you later, guys. And I'm sorry if there was an echo. I forgot to shut the room to the door. And I'll see you later.
Damn. Yeah.